Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We have another unboxing and look inside another third-party ASL product. This one also from Advancing Fire. This is Buddy unbagging because it's just shrink wrapped. And it's shrink wrapped such that it curled, which is unfortunate, but presumably that's due to map size. So Advancing Fire Productions Biazza Ridge. If that is an Italian name, then I think Biazza would be the correct pronunciation, but I don't know anything about Biazza Ridge, so I don't know. It is in Sicily, so it is probably, in fact, an Italian name. So now we know, and the map looks interesting, too. So there's like no natural place to stab this, so we're going to have to do that, and unfortunately I didn't stab either myself or the product. And we're going to have to put this in a bag to pass it back to my buddy intact. All right, so cover sheet. There is a cover sheet. Oops, okay. Okay, so nothing on the back of the cover sheet. You know, this stuff, I don't mind sort of lean production values on this stuff personally because, you know, you're not going to really store stuff in the original boxes anyway because that is, you know, for ASL, that is simply not done. So cover sheet up here. We have what looks like rules here. So BR Biazza Ridge BR1 from Advancing Fire, blah, 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 blah. Partial orchards, partial olive groves, partial reed beds. So as one would expect, you got a bunch of, you know, historical specific terrain types. Looks like if this follows previous Advancing Fire things that I've looked at. Historical research and design by Sebastiano Caltabiano. Proofreading by Jack Boyle, map design by Sebastiano Caltabiano. And a bibliography here, which is always nice to see. And here's a sort of strategy map of probably the whole map. We'll see. Okay. And here's some historical maps, which is very interesting to see that inclusion. This is probably, here is a piece of cardstock. It's nice cardstock, actually. And we'll take a look at the scenarios here. Okay, so Ponte Durillo taking. Okay, so Durillo here is spelled differently than Durillo here and Durillo here. So, yes, it is. So I don't know what's up with that. I will leave it to the Italians and Sicilians to correct that. So we got Americans versus Italians. We do have some counters in here too. Get some extensions onto these because they're a little more than you could fit on a single card. This is it's probably all. Well, I don't know. Actually, it said German stuff on the back, but there could be Italians in here too. Here we have both Germans. Looks like part of Hermann Goering actually, and part of an Italian division, and then part of 82nd Airborne. Gavin counterattack, which uses a tiny portion of the map. Hunting the Wolf. Americans and Germans. Big Red 1 here in this case. Hill 41. Whole bunch of different American formations involved here with the Big Red 1. I'm not sure who this is. Part of 82nd Airborne, apparently. Here's more of 80. That's there, but this says 1st Infantry Division. So, and I don't know who this is. On the back, we've got 2nd American Armored, whoever that is. And on the German side, it's actually pretty hard to find historical emblems for a lot of these German divisions, to be honest. A big chunk of Hermann Goering in this case. So yeah, this is very interesting. I'm actually super interested in the Sicilian campaign. So this thing actually, I have sworn off buying third-party ASL stuff, but this thing's actually pretty tempting. Big Red 1 versus, again, elements of Hermann Goering on regular ASL maps, not on the game-specific maps provided in here. Forello, so this looks like it's near the Gela beachhead. That's interesting. Parts of 2nd Armored, 1st Infantry Division, parts of Hermann Goering. Tigers attack. It's like we have 2 tigers here, right? against 82nd Airborne and parts of 45th Infantry Division. More stuff on the back of this. Drillo Hermann Goering Reconquest. So this could be intentional because it might be reflective of the American pronunciation of these places. So here's Biazza Ridge itself. It's like we got... I want to look at the maps now. I should have looked at the maps before the scenarios. So this is pretty big. Yeah, this covers 2 days, actually. So... And here's the campaign game. Here's the German stuff. It looks like that was the... Yeah, this was the American stuff of the campaign game. And another piece of this rather nice cardstock. Okay. All right, so counters. What we have are these 2 adorable little counter sheets, which look like they contain a landing craft and some leaders, some airborne, U.S. airborne leaders, and some German stuff too. That's interesting. On one side, are these identical? These do appear to be identical, so you're apparently supposed to use one side of one and one side of the other. That's a little chintzy, I got to tell you. And these are not the same quality counters that I saw in Prokhorovka, for example. They're nice and shiny, I'll tell you that. But they're on a, medium weight white core stock. But the die cutting seems a bit dodgy, actually. So set those aside and look at these. Let's see what we got here. All right, so we're going to have problems with these maps. I can tell you this already. I mean, problems with me handling the maps. We've got here 6 maps. Okay, well, only 5 actually. One is the back sheet. All right, so let's look at this one. Okay, these are on I went to Staples and had this printed off on the least expensive paper possible. So this actually is almost a newsprint weight paper. It's just a little heavier than that. Map art actually looks, and this is probably the smallest one. And I'm not going to open the bigger ones because I'm afraid I'll mangle them. Because like those maps that you buy at the gas station to find your way across the hinterlands of North Dakota, you're going to have probably problems with folds and tears and wrinkles folding and unfolding these things. Artistically, they look pretty good, I think. And here's a big mountainous area. Of course, Sicily is very rugged, so you're going to be fighting up these slopes and stuff like that. The scenario content of this looks really, really good. This may have been I don't know. This may have been an early product from Advancing Fire, and maybe that's why the map quality is maybe way less than it is in their brand new Prokhorovka module. But it is nevertheless a lot of map content, and the scenario content looks quite good. So hopefully you have found this illuminating. If you're interested in this, by all means, check this out from Advancing Fire Biazza Ridge. I'd like to thank you for watching the video. If you have found it helpful, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe to the channel and click the little bell dealio to make sure you get the notifications when new stuff comes out. If you'd like to do more to help support Ardwulf's Lair, please do check out the links to the merch store, the Ko-Fi, and the Patreon in the video description. Until next time, thanks for watching and happy wargaming.